What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video on my channel. Today we have episode 31 of this series, Trading Supply and Demand for a Living, and I'm going to be breaking down two trades that I took today. The first one on gold and the second one on NAS 100. So before we get started, if you wanted to take all these trades with me every single day, make sure to join the Discord. The link is going to be in the description, and also follow me on Instagram. The link is in the description as well. Alright, so before we get started, let me show you guys the account, which it is sitting right now at 54,689. Remember that we took a payout, then we won. We made 300 on Friday on SPX, so the account today was sitting at around $53,900. We took a loss on gold, and then we made the money back on Nasdaq plus some profits. So I'm going to break down both trades right now. So the first trade that we took was on gold. When I came into the market today, I saw that we were looking bullish on gold, and I also saw that London session was looking bearish. So I know that New York likes to do reversals. I keep saying this, and Doyle also teaches this as well. London will push in one way, and then New York will like to do reversals. Not all the time, but many times you will see this happen. So when I saw that London pushed all the way back down, and then New York was trying to come up and filling some gaps left on London, I was looking for some demand setups or something over here. All right, so when I came to the market, we had a demand setup, which was this one right here on gold. I was looking at it. I see that we are also respecting the 13 EMA very well, so I like that. We are also sitting above the 200, and I know that the higher time frame is also bullish. Gold has been bullish for the last couple of days and weeks. So when I saw this, I'm waiting to see if we're going to break the candle. I wasn't going to take this trade, if I'm being honest. The demand, because I don't like to trade before 8 a.m. and I took a chance on this setup, which the entry was at around 7:50, 10 minutes before 8 a.m. I took a chance because I like the rejection, and this setup was a support slash liquidity graph. So as you guys can see, we have one low and we have a second low right here. We also have wicks right here, which means there is liquidity sitting below those lows right there. So what did gold do? It invalidated the demand, came all the way back down. It wicked below those wicks that we have right there on those lows, stop traders out, and then it started pushing up with a lot of momentum. It also pushed up and closed above the 13 EMA. So when I saw that, I literally loved the setup. So I took the chance on it, even though it was a little bit early for me, especially on a Monday, which on Mondays I literally like to wait until 9:30 or after 9:30. But this candle showed me that there was a lot of momentum going to the upside. So I took the chance on it. I sent the signal when gold was sitting like right here, pushing up, and then we took the entry together, and stop loss goes over here, aiming for a 1-to-1. Then gold consolidated for a little bit. When I'm in this trade, I'm thinking, okay, I want gold to really hold that 13 EMA. I don't want to see that 13 EMA being broken, because then we don't have any other EMAs in the way of my stop loss. It will just be like a clean drop onto my stop loss or this support once again. So whenever I saw that gold rejected the 13 EMA, like right here, and then the next candle started coming back up, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling confident on this setup again. I went heavy on the risk over here a little bit. Instead of risking the normal $500, I was risking like $900 on this trade. So whenever I saw this candle closing and going to the upside, I'm like, okay, this is looking great. We rejected the 13 EMA once again. We have a momentum candle, which is a bullish engulfing candle, and we left this potential demand. All right, potential demand, because we still have to break these highs. All right, so it can be a break of structure, then we can come back to this demand, and then maybe it is going to go and hit TP. So this is what I'm thinking when I'm in the gold trade. What do I don't want to see? I don't want to see us breaking this low right here, because that is going to invalidate this momentum to the upside, and it is also going to invalidate that potential demand that we just left. Plus, we're also going to be breaking below the 13 EMA, so I don't like that. If that happens, I'm not going to like it. All right, and literally the next candle dropped all the way back down. It wicked below that low, so I ended up closing like right here and took a $320 loss, which I posted it on Instagram as well. And I notified everyone on the Signals group that I was closing the trade, because I literally didn't like how it reacted. First, we failed to create a new higher high, so this is showing weakness. Why are you going to push all the way up with this much momentum for then seeing sellers stepping in the market and invalidating this potential demand breaking the low of the candle that literally just pushed up halfway into TP, and then also you're going to close below the 13 EMA right there after breaking that low. I didn't like it, so I just ended up closing, and then I stayed watching gold because I also like to see my setups after I call my losses to see if I made a good decision or not. And this is literally what happened. It came all the way back down. It stopped us out only to do this after that. Literally crazy. Like gold went crazy for the rest of the day, guys. So that was it was a good direction. We had the direction right. It was literally the wrong timing. It was the wrong trade at the wrong time. It stopped us out. It wasn't ready yet, and then it went all the way back up. From the original entry would have been a 1 2 3 risk reward setup. So I was kind of tight from gold, but I know that that happens. It's a game of probabilities, so it was just the wrong time for us to take that setup. Now, the second trade that I took today, it was a Nasdaq trade, all right? And let me break it down for you guys. So when I came into Nasdaq, you guys can see Nasdaq had this huge bullish candle at news at 9:45. We had news today 9:45. This is after the open. So Nasdaq broke and also closed above these highs over here, and also broke and closed above these minor highs over here with the next candle. That wick right there literally broke above those minor highs. I also know that London session and Asian session was bearish, and now we're consolidating to potentially start coming back up. I also see that even though the EMAs are not how I like to see them, because the 200 EMA is flat, you literally want to trade supply and demand when the 200 is trending, either coming up or going back down. In this case, it was flat, so it's not the best case for the EMAs, but we were still trading above the 13, above the 15, above the 200. This was a demand right there. I was thinking about it, and the main thing that made me like take the setup was the 4-hour chart. If you guys look at the 4-hour chart on Nasdaq, let me turn this off really quick. It had a 4-hour demand that it was just retesting and rejecting. We had the 13 EMA right there. You see this rejection on Nasdaq. We also had a break of structure on the 4-hour chart right there, and we are rejecting this demand. So when I saw that we are rejecting a 4-hour demand, rejecting the 13 EMA right there on the 4-hour, and we also have a 5-minute that just got created, a 5-minute demand, and we're still sitting above the EMAs. Not how I like to see them, but still sitting above it. I was willing to take the chance. All right, next candle came all the way back down. It tapped once again. So at this point, I'm waiting for the break of candle to get into the trade. And then the next candle came all the way back down here, more than halfway inside the demand, and then it rejected and started coming all the way back up, giving the break of the candle. I ain't gonna lie, when I got in, it literally spiked super fast over here and rejected fast. So when I got in, it literally got me in like right there. It wasn't at the break of the candle. It was a little bit lower on both accounts that I'm trading. So it was a little bit lower than the break of the candle. I'm still going to place my stop loss below, this is my entry, below the lowest point inside the demand, and I'm going to be aiming for a 1-to-1 on this setup. Now, this is the second setup of the day. All right. Next candle push all the way back up. It ended up rejecting. We're still above the EMAs, and then the third candle was a bearish engulfing candle coming to the downside, and it also closed below the EMAs. At this point, I'm not liking the setup. I swear to God, I'm not liking the setup, but I'm willing to just take the risk and take a full hit if it hits my stop loss. This was my mentality. It's my second trade already. I already took a loss. So whatever happens, happens. I took the chance. I know that we are going with the trend on the higher time frame, and we have a 4-hour demand on the higher time frame. So I'm willing to wait on this setup even if it hits my stop loss. I'm willing to take that risk because I know that if I lose on this trade, it's just because the market wasn't on my side, but my analysis is correct based on my strategy because I'm going with the higher time frame, break of structure, demand on the 4-hour. We are not having the best EMAs because the 200 is flat, but we were still above the EMAs, and we have break of structure on the 5-minute. London session was bearish. We're most likely going to fill in some gaps over here, and New York likes to do reversals. So I was willing to wait it. It was the second trade of the day, so I'm not about to cut the loss once again. If I took the chance on it, I'm just going to wait it. All right, so then next candle literally went so close to stop loss, so close to stop loss, and then it reversed all the way back up. As soon as I saw this candle reversing and once again rejecting the demand zone, I wanted to enter a second position. So I didn't get in on this candle. I waited for the next candle to open. The next candle pushed back down a little bit right here, and then it started going back up. As soon as that candle flipped bullish, like literally right there, I got into the position. It started coming back down, rejected the EMAs, and then it started pushing back up. When it flipped bullish, when the candle turned green, I got into another position right there. It was two contracts, one contract on the first one and a second contract on this one right here. If you guys trade futures, you know that this will average out. So my average entry was at around the middle right there. So let me delete the original one that I had in the second entry, and I'm just going to leave the average one. So this is what I did for the second setup. All right, now I have two contracts in the trade. I entered twice because I like the second rejection. We took out potential buyers that bought over here, and then they got faked out over here. They closed the trades, and now we're going back up and pushing with momentum. So I like to see that. Whenever I saw that, I felt confident with the setup. So I entered the second position, and I placed my stop loss below. Instead of putting it below the original low right there where my original stop loss was, I put it below the new wick. Now I have two contracts, so I have like a new position. So I put my stop loss below that new wick. Why? Because if the market comes all the way back down and it breaks that wick, there is no reason for me to wait until it breaks this lower as well. All right, it is most likely going to break it as well. If we break this low right here that just got rejected and literally created a new higher high, if we come all the way back down and break that low, most likely we're also going to break this low. So it doesn't make sense to put the stop loss back down here when I know that if we break this low, we have a 95, 98% chance of us also breaking that low and pushing with momentum to the downside and switching the structure after creating a new higher high. So I put my new stop loss below that wick right there, and then I'm aiming for a one-to-one on my setup, which literally almost got hit right here. It almost got hit, and then it reversed once again. So whenever it reversed, I like the first rejection right here on the EMAs. So I'm feeling confident at this point, and then I like also the second rejection over here. But then the third candle came all the way back down to the zone to retest the demand zone once again, and I'm literally sweating. If you guys can make the count, I got in the trade, the first position at around 10 a.m. and it is right now 10:35. So 10:35 a.m. It's been like 40 minutes almost that I'm just in consolidation. My TV is not being hit and my stop loss is not being hit, but I'm still willing to take the hit if it comes all the way back down here. And then the next candle started pushing back up with a lot of momentum, bullish engulfing, close above the wick, gave the break of the candle right there as well, which is something that the previous ones didn't have. Like this one, you see that it gave the break of the candle right here, but it ended up closing all the way back down here, so it was a little bit weak. The second break of the candle, it gave it on the second candle after it tapped the demand. So first candle that pushed away, and then the second candle was the one that gave the break of the candle. But this one, it was literally the first bullish candle pushing away from the zone that gave the break of the candle, and we also closed above it. So whenever I saw that, I was confident on this trade. I'm like, most likely we are going to hit my TP, because I'm also seeing a pattern. I'm seeing a low, higher low, higher low, and I'm seeing a high, higher high. So maybe we want to go for another higher high, hit my TV, I can get out and just enjoy my day. And then I just waited it out. Next candle consolidated a little bit. At this point, I almost closed. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm like, oh man, there is no way that this is just going to reject and come all the way back down to the zone once again. And I almost closed because look at the volume on this candle and look at the volume on this candle. I'm like, bro, why are you going to push with this amount of volume to then just consolidate right here and close with a doji like that? But I waited out for the next candle, and the next candle literally hit my TP, and the rest was history. I closed my position full, and then it reversed, it played out, it hit TP once again. If people got in like once again over here, or even if you waited it out on your original entry on the break of the candle, it would have never hit your stop loss, and you will have had many chances of closing at a break even or in profit. So if you took this setup and you took a loss on this setup, a full loss on this setup, I can only blame yourself, because you have plenty of chances of closing this trade at break even, closing this trade in some profits at least, or small, even a small loss, which will have been fine. But if you close at a full hit at your stop loss, it would have been super bad, because literally, look at this. Entered 10 a.m. and my TP was hit at 10:50, so almost an hour on this trade. just to see my TP getting wicked and then a full reverse. After that, it will have hit the stop loss on the original entry. But I just got out, called it on the signals group, and enjoyed my day. Made my loss on gold back, and I also made like $750 today on this trade. So that was it for today, guys. I know many of you wanted to ask why I held this trade. It was mainly because of the 4 hour going in confluence with the 5 minute short. So I knew I had higher time frame confluence, and I was willing to just take a full hit if it had to be that way. But anyways, that is it for today. If you had any questions, put it in the comments or you can DM me on Instagram. And as always, if you want to take these trades with me, don't forget to join the Discord. Link will be in the description. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye bye.